The room is now locked. Or live now?
Yeah, it is. Man, it says
Okay.
live.
Oh, okay. This is a chaotic hour before recording this. So,
Yeah.
um, well, we might do video soon, as in, we record these podcasts through audio all the time. But, uh, anyways, this is Cerealboxd reviews. Sorry for no introduction. If you've been
Yeah.
watching the podcast, you probably know. But, um, the, what's it called? So we're using Messenger Room, and there's a lot of problems. And I have two accounts, and my one account, which I want to do the review on, my other account as the account for the Messenger Room. And I figure out because my Messenger is linked with my one account that was showing up, and I have to switch it to that account so we can do the review. And we're not doing video, but we might do video in the future. And I just got my new webcam right when we're recording this, and I wanted to test it out and flex, but no. Um, yeah, and we have an interesting story to share later. Um,
Yeah.
but anyways, we're doing the Scooby-Doo Trilogy, so it's not really a trilogy. I'm just calling it that. That's the three theatrical release Scooby-Doo movies. Um,
Yeah.
well, the third one, if you even want to call it theatrical released, it's kind of just straight to DVD and streaming.
Yeah.
But it was supposed to be theatrically released. So it's Scooby-Doo, Scooby-Doo 2, Isn't It Monsters Unleashed?
Yeah.
And then Scoob, which is like the worst title ever. Anyways, uh, let's start off with um, Scooby-Doo 1 to Scooby-Doo 2002, which came
Yeah.
out the same year as that was an epic year for me. It's a Spider-Man 1 and Attack of the Clones. And there's another one I think I'm forgetting. That was like a blockbuster. Uh, but anyways, I actually remember seeing Spider-Man 1 in the theater. It's like the earliest movie I remember watching. And I remember fragments of Attack of the Clones. And I remember fragments of Spider-Man 1. But I am in my mind, more familiar with that one. As in, like, my backlog of memory and stuff. But, Scooby-Doo 1, I do not know if I saw it in the theaters or not. I actually don't
I
know.
have not. Yeah.
I think I might have seen it because my sister was a fan of this movie. We watched it a lot when I was a kid. And I remember liking it when I was a kid, and I don't like it now. uh, anyways, the plot of this one is they go to a theme park on an island,
Yeah. Hmm.
and uh, some stuff happens, and they
Yeah.
investigate it pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of it. Um, what did you think of Scooby-Doo 1?
Um. Uh, it's was alright for its time. Uh. Yeah, it was alright for its time. It was the other 2000s, so like
It's so
yeah, we're
it's like the most 2002 movie ever made.
yeah, pretty much. Especially the
It feels like,
soundtrack.
dude, the movie, it feels like my early childhood.
Yeah.
It looks and sounds like my early childhood.
Yeah. I like how in the front of the Scooby-Doo box says soundtrack album includes recording by Outkast featuring Killer Mike and Sleepy Brown, Shaggy, Sugar Ray, Lil Romeo, and Baha Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty much like that.
Yeah, even the casting is very early 2000s because You got Freddie Prinze Jr., who's in a lot of those. Um, he was in a lot of those like teen drama movies and shows and stuff. He was well in a lot, especially a lot of the horror movies from the late '90s, early 2000s. And you got his wife, who plays Daphne, Shara, Mc, Shara, what's her name? You know who I'm
Mitchell.
talking. Yeah, who played Buffy, Vampire
Yeah.
Slayer, and she was in a lot of late '90s, early 2000s stuff as
Yeah.
well. And uh, you got Rowan Atkinson's in it, who isn't really 2000s, but that was when you know, I don't know, the same year around that time when Bean came out. Uh,
Yeah.
kind of when Mr. Bean started kind of getting pretty popular in the States, and then you got uh, who are the other actor like Fred? What's his name? Matthew Lillard. Wasn't like a star at the time, but I mean he's a popular actor, I guess, but not really like early. Who I
Yeah.
think was an early 2000s star, but then you got you got those people in it, which kind of date the movie, and then you got the cameos. It's just like the cameos, like Pamela Anderson, who was kind of not really that relevant at that time.
Nah.
It's more '90s, uh, and then but the early 2000s, I think is kind of just an extension of the '90s. There's like 2002, and then you got the cameos from like the musicians and stuff, like Sugar Ray and them. And yeah, it just is a very dated movie. Uh, so what I thought about it is I do not like it. Um, it doesn't make it doesn't make me furious, but it's just lame. This is a lame movie. I the the jokes, even like the adult jokes, um, aren't funny. It just isn't. None of these movies. I'm just gonna say this for all of them. None of these movies capture what Scooby Doo is. Like
No.
none of them. Um, and
It was like an attempt.
and okay, I forgot to also mention the movies. The first two were written by James Gunn, who I
Yeah.
don't like. A lot of people like him. Um, he did the Guardians of the Galaxy movies. Um, he did Super. He did Slither. He did the. He's going to do the new Suicide Squad movie. Um, he did his first movie before he did any of this was Tromeo and Juliet, and I'm a Troma fan. I don't know if I'd say I'm a fan, but I like Troma movies a lot, and that's one of my least favorite Troma movies. Like I just Troma movies, they're either good or bad. There's no like in between. And Romeo and Juliet is one of those I just don't like. um,
Which one?
Romeo and Juliet, that's the movie he made. That's his first movie.
Oh, okay.
Before he wrote this, that's actually what got him to write the Scooby Doo movies.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, and I don't think James Gunn is funny. I've seen parts of the Guardians of the Galaxy movies. I never sat through all of them. Uh, I remember liking Super when like it came out, but as I got older, I don't. I grew out of that kind of humor and stuff. Um, he's just not. I just don't think his humor is funny. Like it's kind of cringy. It's very Reddit. I describe his humor as Reddit humor. I do not like Reddit humor at all. He uses a lot of like references towards things. He always has to throw cool music, quote unquote cool music in his movies. I just always feel like all his movies are very try hard, um,
Yeah.
quirky, and cool. But there's no chill. I don't know if you remember James Gunn. Do you remember the controversy? few years back, the tweets Marvel pulled
Uh,
up.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, uh, because he made a lot of tweets like 10 years ago, making pedophile jokes. Uh, a lot of consumers and stuff thinking he's a Hollywood pedo, and a lot of his fans were mad and stuff. And it didn't really mean anything in the long run because he came back and stuff. But my opinion on it, all I said at the time, I remember. There's an old podcast about it, and I just said, I don't know. I can't say because I don't know. I pretty much said too that, which made a few people mad. I said on social media all the time. I said it's possible, but I don't know. I'm not gonna be
yeah,
like shocked because you never know what people are in Hollywood. You just never know. They are. That's all I said, but that kind of rubbed a few people the wrong way. But anyways, talking about Scooby-Doo, not talking about James Gunn allegation. Scooby-Doo 1, I just think is a lame movie. That's pretty much how I'd sum it up. It's just lame.
yeah,
The movie's not even like it's colorful, but it's not interesting. It's shot like
yeah,
what movie interesting shot that's kind of a dumb movie is Good Burger. Good Burger is like actually a beautifully
yeah,
shot movie. It's weird because it's a stupid
yeah,
movie, but it is. And Scooby-Doo could have been shot like that. I think it actually would have kind of maybe
yeah.
enhanced it a bit. It's just corporate.
Mm-hmm.
You can tell it's a corporately made movie. And yeah, and you know what the problem I have with these movies is even in Scoob, Velma is hotter than Daphne. It
Yeah,
doesn't make any sense because in the show she was like portrayed as like an
a
unattractive
nerd.
nerd, which doesn't make any sense.
Yeah,
And um, yeah, uh, I don't know. It's just a dumb movie. Do you have any? Oh, we should break down. We should because I'm very familiar with the first Scooby Doo movie. I've seen it so many times in my life.
yeah.
I should just break down the whole
Same.
movie. I should break it down because how it starts and how it ends because I know the whole plot pretty much.
Yeah.
The like
So,
so it begins in a factory. They're in a factory investigating something, and
yeah,
this dude is it's a ghost or whatever, and of course it's not a ghost. And then he does I will get you, you meddling kids, and you stupid dog and stuff. And Pamela Anderson comes out for no reason, and her fangirls come out, and then they kind of go back to their normal lives after that. Then Shaggy and Scoob are on the beach because they just live on the beach like bums in their van, and they're like
yeah,
that song that I don't know what's called or how it goes, that that reggae song
yeah,
and there's a weed joke. There's a joke where it looks like they're smoking pot out of the van,
yeah,
but they're just eating burgers. And this guy knocks on their van, and they're like, "Oh shit, Scoob, hide, hide!" Like they have weed, and then
yeah,
they're invited to that theme. They're all invited to that theme park, and they all meet each other at the airport. Like, oh, what a weird coincidence! And Scooby Doo to get in the airport, he dresses as an old lady, and
yeah. Grandma.
Shaggy Shaggy meets the girl of his dreams, who also likes Scooby snacks, and then uh, they go to the island, and like Sugar Ray, a couple dudes in Sugar Ray or something are there for some reason, and then they meet Rowan Atkinson, who's all like serious, and he's actually the evil mastermind in the movie, and
Yeah,
then Velma meets a cool guy. He's cool, listens to edgy music, um, and then like stuff happens, and then there's like these
uh-huh.
monsters, actual monsters in the movie. Those
Yeah,
purple things, those horrendous looking purple things, um, and then they switch. They find some orb thing that makes them switch their bodies or whatever, and that's where
Yeah.
I like to look at myself naked line comes from, and then um, fucking uh, they they investigate, I guess, and they get in some trouble with the animatronics and some midget or dwarf, sorry, and
Yeah.
then um, fucking yeah, that was all before they switched the bodies, but maybe
Yeah.
after they switched the bodies, um, they go to some place and they try stopping Rowan Atkinson or something. Scrappy Doo's there, and yeah, and then they stop it and they save the day. I guess it's Scooby-Doo 1. I don't know if I'm missing any details.
Um, the fart scene that happened,
Oh, yeah,
and then Fred said a quote that I remember for years. He goes to Velma, "Yeah, well, you girls can turn me on too."
yeah. uh, any favorite scenes in the movie or moments?
Uh, Not much.
Yeah, I don't
I think
have
this is
any.
the,
What's
I think
that?
this is the last. I said this is the last time they ever used like Scrappy Doo as a character.
Yeah, it is, and like all Scooby-Doo media, isn't it?
Yeah,
I'm not familiar with. I'm only familiar with like these movies and the old Scooby-Doo cartoon, the '90s ones, '90s
yeah,
cartoon. I don't, but yeah, I believe it is the last. Even Scrappy wasn't in those '90s ones. I believe
yeah.
he's only yeah, um, yeah. Uh, what would you rate it?
2 out of 10.
Yeah, that's what I'm rating it to.
Yeah, it was there. It was an attempt. CGI was meh. Like Scooby, like runs around a lot, like moves around a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah, I get it. It's a cartoon character, but not even like the original Scooby moves around like that. Eh, I don't know.
now we go to Scooby-Doo 2. And we have an interesting story to share.
So, um, Jay gave me movies, the Scooby Doo movies, which I'll thank him for him.
Yeah,
So
that's a for this podcast and other stuff, because we all review movies and stuff, and sometimes we don't
yeah,
have certain, maybe we don't have certain streaming services or things like that, and I'll usually just order. We have other people that come on here and stuff, but order them movies, pretty much.
yeah,
Scooby-Doo movies were no big deal because they're freaking. You can find them at Goodwill. Like they're
yeah,
not. They're like a few bucks. They're not that
yeah.
much. It's
Which I
not like I'm
thank Jay
buying.
for
It's
it.
not like I'm buying like a Goods Arm, Criterion. That's like $40 or whatever. It's not like that. There's
No,
Scooby movies are very common, so it's whatever. But
yeah.
yeah, you can tell it, I guess.
So I because it's eBay, it's random. So two of them were new. Was like Scooby Doo and Scoob. But this one, the second one, um, was already open. Had like a paper towel in there, all folded up.
Was it a
Uh,
napkin or a paper towel?
it was a paper towel, but I
Okay.
usually say napkin. Yeah, that's how I talk. But
It's
anyways,
one of those ones, those little ones that you use to like wipe your mouth with and stuff, right?
yeah,
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 okay.
that's the napkin. Yeah, but like that was there. I opened it up because now like when this thing's happening, I always like I have to de-affect everything with a
Yeah.
spray bottle and stuff like that. So I got it out. That was open, and I was ready to what? All right. What's weird about it? There's a paper towel in there, red, kind of like a red pasta stain near the disc area, like in the
I don't know if it
case.
was pot. Was it pasta? Or was it just
I
red?
don't know. It looks like a whitish red. And
Okay.
then the disc, had some scratches here, but like the sides were like damaged, like kind of like damaged, like bit of stains. Like what the heck is this? I was
You
gonna
said
tell
there was
Jay,
you said there was
huh?
like white stains, right? Like light stains
Kind
on
of
it.
like whitish stains on the side of the disc. Yeah, I think I should reflect that. But like the insides were like the disc on the other side was like, and there was scratches and stuff. Like I could clean it, but there's no way impossible I can clean it. So I
Yeah.
told Jay about it like a couple of days later. I was like, hey, I got the. What should I do? He was like, oh, just throw it away.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
like, you sure, man? It's like, yeah, throw it away.
Yeah, because how sketchy it was. And then I didn't. Okay, so when we had that conversation, I gave that feedback because eBay you can do that. Like if you have a problem with the product or anything, and that's what I
Yeah.
did. I wasn't lying. I was writing down what you said to me, and I gave the feedback. And this guy who bought it, I'm not going to read the whole messages. I'm not. Maybe I should not give out context, but hold on. Let me. I'm not going to read the whole thing because it's not. Some of the stuff's not that bad or anything, but I got these messages because I haven't checked my eBay at least like 3 days. Um, and I got these messages, not just one, but multiple messages, I guess, uh, every day. Um, by this guy who kept messaging me and copy and pasted the same message. God damn it. I'm trying to pull up the message, but it's slow. Anyways, hold on. Do 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 do. Okay, so the guy was telling me, I'll just leave his name out. He was saying, item shipped to you was clean, without scratches. Every item shipped included a clean paper towel folded inside to keep the disc from moving during shipment. This is what I do to make a living, and if there was an issue, all you have to do is send me a message, which I just left feedback because that's what I do. And yeah, I came to send a message, but I wasn't planning on refunding it or anything. Um, anyways, I'm a very good seller to take pride in what I do. Sketchy? I don't understand. I could see if the item was damaged, but it wasn't. It wasn't professionally clean. It wasn't. I professionally clean each disc and ensure it arrives to you um, quick and oh my god, my computer, quick and safe. And
Oops.
so I understand the paper towel thing. Well, I don't understand the paper towel thing. I've never had that ever happen, and to be honest, does not do anything to save your disc. Just saying. Um, it baffles
Yeah.
me how discs well they've been around for like 40 years, but people have been using them for at least 30 years, and it baffles me that people do not know how to fucking DVDs and CDs work. in this day of age. It baffles me because I see this stuff all the time. Like people give these weird like protection devices or talk about disc rot and stuff. It's like it really baffles me that nobody knows how to take care of this in 2020. And I don't know. These have been around forever. You'd think people would catch on at this point. But anyways, then he said, so he sent me like five. I think it was 5 messages, I believe, of that copy and paste. Which I never. You have sellers, message you, but it's usually once, maybe twice to check in. Um. Anyway, so this guy messaged me against Julian. I truly don't understand what I did wrong to deserve a negative for our transaction. Check my feedback comments, which I did, and they were the copy and pasted ones. That same copy and paste message. I go out of my way to please all my buyers. If you had read my store page, you will see I'm a disabled Army veteran. And this is what he does, which is scummy. So he sent me revise the feedback, which I've never had before. Pretty much accusing me of lying. And he puts in that he's an Army veteran. So I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, which means nothing to me. It's fucking Scooby-Doo 2 for $3. I'm not buying your wheelchair, or I'm assuming he's in a wheelchair. Like I'm buying. The way he's presenting himself, I'm assuming he's like disabled. I'm not buying one of your old, equipment or whatever used during the war, or to help you live with your disability and stuff. It's not anything like that. It's a Scooby-Doo 2 for $3. Like it was $5.
Yeah.
It's not the same thing. It's just a stupid kids movie that you can find anywhere else. Who does eBay to try to supplement my income? I have already refunded your payment to me, because if you're not happy with your dealing with me, I can't honestly keep your money. My feedback rating means a lot to me. The DVD is scratched or messed up, I could understand, but I don't send out scratched discs since I bought a disc restorer in July. All I was shipped with a clean paper towel to keep discs from moving, which does not help. The disc weighs more than a paper towel, by the way.
Yeah, and doesn't like people like when you get like packages, doesn't like come with like bubble wrap and stuff like that?
By the way, do you hear this? That came with my new movie, by the way, and it was actually not inside the case; it was outside it. So, yeah, exactly. That's funny. I had it right there when you mentioned that.
Yeah.
What was I? I am really down because of this. I'll send feedback revision to you to see if you have it in your head to change the feedback. Thanks for your consideration, David. And no, David, I'm not changing the feedback. I'm being honest about it, David. If you're watching, I doubt he's watching this. Um, yeah. It's just funny to me. Anyways, I got that, and you didn't watch Scooby-Doo 2, but you remember Scooby-Doo 2 enough anyways. So, yeah.
Yeah.
So anyways, this one I actually saw in the theaters. I did see.
Yeah.
I did definitely see this one in theaters, and I never liked this movie ever since I was a kid, and yeah. This movie I think is actually garbage, trash, dumpster fire, just garbage, and I can't even explain the plot of this one because it's so freaking random. Um, Pretty much, Seth Green is in it, and he's like a curator at a museum, and he curates the old or these like statues that of all the monsters they've uh oh, like not monsters, but like people in costumes and stuff that they've exposed. And um they're like celebrities in the movie. There's like Velma fangirls and stuff. There's a lot of that stuff. And
Oh yeah, I remember that.
yeah, and Velma likes Seth Green, and they uh and this weird stuff starts happening where all the museum gets damaged and stuff. Things go missing, and they have to figure out what's going on. And they go to this like mansion, and a bunch of crazy stuff happens. And they're not just there for a little bit; they're there like the whole movie. And then they and then Seth Green is like behind it. I think I don't remember. I don't care. Um, yeah, and about this movie too, I thought was actually interesting. The only positive I have is they brought back the old like characters in the cartoons, like recreated them live action. They actually looked pretty
Yeah.
good. That's like the only positive I have to say about this movie. I have nothing but positive to say. And guess what? The Coolsville sucks meme was never funny. There, I said it. Well, I
Yeah.
think Coolsville sucks.
Oh.
That meme was never funny. What was that, like 2017 or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was never funny. What do you think? What did you think of this one?
Yeah, the show was chaotic as fuck.
Yeah, it's random. I don't even know the plot. I think
It's so random.
it's not interesting. There's nothing interesting happening on the screen. This is boring.
Disco Scooby.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Thank you for let me. I think that song was like it's Shrek 3.
Yeah. Which we might review the Shrek Saga one of these days.
Oh
the
no.
Shrek Quadrilogy. Maybe one of these days.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, this movie, I don't like this movie at all. I actually think it's the worst one. Yep, I said the worst one out of the three, I think, is this one. Because it's like the most forgettable. It's just, well, I wouldn't say most forgettable maybe, but it's the most, it's the one I've had the hardest to sit through. Hardest time
Yeah.
sitting through.
It's
Yeah. I don't really have much to say about this one, honestly.
1 out of 10.
Is that what it is for you?
Because I don't remember any of it. So yeah, I guess 1 out of 10. Like
It's a 1 out
it
of 10
was so.
for
The only
me.
thing I remember was so chaotic to the point like. Yeah, because it's so like there was like nothing like. The thing I remember is Disco Scooby and
the 1 point is for the monsters being pretty accurate to what they look like in the cartoon.
Yeah.
The 1 point. It's 1 out of 10 because it is the 1 point. That's like positive.
Yeah. The only thing I remember is Disco Scooby and the Velma scene, but that's it.
Oh yeah, where she's like, there's that one scene where she's all sexed up.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just, yeah. 1 out of 10. There are people that think the first two movies are like masterpieces, like Good Burger. They think they're like Good Burger quality, like comparable to Good Burger Space, and they're not.
Yeah.
Anyways, moving on to Scoob 2020.
Oh my gosh.
The first movie of the 2020s you've ever reviewed.
Yeah.
it all begins with Scoob.
Yeah.
Um, okay. Um,
You want to go first?
okay, so um, I'm gonna be honest. This was
Yeah.
not that bad of a movie I thought it was gonna be. I
Yeah.
thought it was gonna be the worst thing ever, and it wasn't really. It wasn't good, but it wasn't the worst thing ever. Um, I'm be on. Oh yeah, I'm be honest. I think this is actually the better one out of the three. In my opinion, it is.
Yeah.
Because it was the least cringy. It was like, and it was just a mediocre kids film.
Yeah.
That's all it was. And if this was on in the background at like some kid's birthday party, it wouldn't bother me at
Yeah.
all. It wouldn't like bother me or anything. First of all, the CGI is awful. It's very cheap looking.
Yeah.
But anyways, the plot of this one, it's like an origin story. Where I don't know. I'm thinking it takes place modern day, and the rest of it takes place in the future. Uh, anyways, Scooby meets Shaggy on Venice Beach, and he like adopts him, and then they meet the rest of the gang on Halloween, trick or
Yeah.
treating, and uh, they the rest of the movie um they're um they're Shaggy and Scooby at a bowling alley, and
Uh,
a wife turns her into robots for whatever reason.
yeah. Uh-huh.
Flying for some reason, and the whole plot of the movie. What's his name's in it? Dick Durgley,
Dick Dastardly.
Dick Dastardly wants
Yeah.
Scooby, so because he's like actually pretty smart for a dog, and so can we like replace his old dog that died? Who, spoiler alert, doesn't actually die, and and um, this movie is not a mystery movie. It's a fucking action adventure movie.
Yeah.
Sci-fi action. It's like horror based. It's sci-fi based.
Yeah.
And um uh um yeah and then Blue
Uh,
Falcon is in it. This dog who are voiced by Mark Wahlberg and Tracy Morgan, or no, Tracy Morgan's Captain Caveman. Kim, what's his name? The Asian guy that plays the Asian guy and everything is the dog. And uh, I brought this up that Blue Falcon is a little fruity.
that's
Um, like in the movie, so I was watching the movie and I was like, "There's something about this character. I don't know what it is." And the more I watched it, I was like, "Dude, he's fucking gay." But he's not like a obvious gay. He's like a subtle gay.
yeah.
And then I finally the nail of the coffin was the ending when he was like DJing those pink lights, that like mainstream pop song. Like, yeah, guys, come on. I was like, oh, he has the case of the gays, and um, the
That was the only thing he was talking about this movie.
the only thing else, yeah, it was. I,
It's singing "Sucker for Pain."
oh yeah. Shaggy. I was gonna say. the voice actors weren't bad, except for Shaggy was actually pretty bad.
Yeah.
Sound like Shaggy, and Velma didn't really sound like Velma. It just sounded like some chick. And uh, yeah, and then do the same where it looks like Shaggy sacrificed himself like
Yeah.
Iron Man. Like Iron
Yeah.
Man. Like he
Yeah.
tries to have the same ending as like in game. It's really weird.
Yeah.
And
Maybe the meme was right along. He was the powerful one.
yeah, they kind of do make a reference towards it, sort of.
Yeah. Mr.
And,
Do, I don't feel so good.
uh, and then oh, we have to talk about the cop scene.
Oh.
Now, I did not know this because I haven't been on Twitter in a long time, and I actually
Yeah.
was off Facebook at that time when that came to me. That
Yeah.
people lewd her up. That there's this really hot cop girl, voiced by Christina Hendricks, and um, yeah, and it ends up being Dick Dastardly.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what the plot? You know who's the secret villain all along was Simon
Yeah.
Cowell, who it creepily looked like him in the movie.
But just
It was
like
fucking.
it looked like they just scanned him and then put him in there.
And there's some American Idol references and plugs, which I think they're. I'm pretty sure that are like that was like product placement.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was not a good movie, but I thought it was the least cringy out of the three.
Yeah. You know what's funny? In the first movie, Shaggy cockblock Scooby, and Scoob, Scooby cockblock Shaggy.
When was that?
Uh,
Oh,
you know the first movie of like the first like Scooby Doo movie, like Shaggy like cockblock Scooby for hanging out with this girl, and like this, and then the Scoob, uh, Scooby Doo like goes to with the heroes and cockblocks Shaggy.
um. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember. Oh yeah, because Shaggy's he's depressed throughout the entire movie.
Yeah, it's like, dog, like what the fuck? It's like,
Like not even Shaggy, like the character of Shaggy.
yeah.
Ugh. Have anything else to say about Scoob?
Yeah. Uh, it, I don't- this was like an attempt.
First of all, the poster is like the worst poster ever. With them lined up, all serious, and Scoob is looking at the camera like breaking the fourth wall.
Yeah.
It's so douchey. It's such a lame poster.
Yeah.
Anyways,
How about this? This was an attempt. They wanted like this movie was kind of like they wanted to have a cinematic universe with the Hanna-Barbera characters.
mhm,
That's why like Blue Falcon, Captain Caveman, and Dick Dastardly all were in this movie.
yeah.
Yeah, so it's like it wasn't too bad, but it wasn't too great either. Like, eh. Like I was wanting to skip this movie, and it's like Jay, no, let's just watch it. It's like, all right, and then I watched this, like, what the hell is going on? Like, I, I don't like I was like I didn't watch the second time because I didn't feel like it. But it was a really random ass movie. Just shit happens.
What would you rate it?
A 3.
Yeah, a 3 for me too.
Yeah,
We've all
like
that's the
it's
first time we rated like movies like especially like a trilogy like the same rating. I think because like the Mummy movies, I think we had kind of different opinions on, but
Yeah.
Yeah. Um. So yeah, that was the Scooby-Doo trilogy.
Yeah.
Uh, it's whatever. Anyways, I have to recommend. It's my turn to recommend a movie.
Oh boy.
Um, I it's gonna be one movie, and it's something different.
Uh,
So I'm gonna be doing. This is gonna be a little a little plug. Um, I'm gonna be doing a best movies of the decade video. I did make a list on Letterboxd, but I deleted it because I didn't rewatch a lot of those movies, and it wasn't really a serious list. It's more vague, and my opinions have changed drastically on a lot of movies from the last decade, and I've been rewatching all the movies that I've given praise, and uh, I've been watching movies that I haven't seen before that a lot of people have been getting praise from over the decade, and
mhm.
um, so I'm going to recommend a movie from the last decade that is a rewatch for me, and I consider it. I don't know if I will now. Maybe I'll consider it the best. Who knows? One of my favorite movies in the decade. I give pretty high review of, pretty high rating of, which is um, under a movie called Under the Skin, which I won't say what it's about or anything. It's one of those you don't look up anything about it or anything.
Okay.
Um, and it's a complete polar opposite of Scooby Doo. Uh, complete polar opposite.
Yeah.
Um, but it'll be a nice change, uh, nice break from that stuff like Scooby Doo. Uh,
Yeah.
so yeah, that'll be the next podcast is Under the Skin, 2013.
All right.
Yep. All right. Well, thanks for watching and goodbye.